Alright, so for year 8 this week we're looking at drawing graphs, and I'm going to go through 3 here just to get you started. So number 1, create a column graph based off the following data. So here's our frequency table. Now frequency must always be our vertical column, and our frequency goes up to a maximum of 8. So looking at this scale, I'm going to go up 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going up in 2s, and you can put the half ones on there so you know where the odd numbers would be. Now our favourite colour will be on the bottom, favourite colour, and we must label our axes. So let's have a look. So we've got red, blue, green and yellow. Alright, now when you draw your column graph, obviously we must use a ruler and there must be gaps. So you want to put your bar, as it were, sort of in the middle of this group of red. So red is up to 6. So I'm leaving a gap each side and drawing in the 6. I'll do the tops at the end. Blue is 5, so I'm going across to 5. Try and have the same size gap there. Green is 8, so that's all the way up to 8. And finally yellow is 3, so let's go to 3. Alright, now I'm going to put my tops in, making sure that, so that's at 6, 5, 8 and 3, and adjust if you need to. And then don't forget to title as well, column graph or favourite colour. Alright, and there's our column graph. You'll notice that the bars are the same width and there's a gap between each bar, frequencies on the side, and I've labelled both of the axes. Okay, number 2. Create a dot plot from the following ages. Now a dot plot is used because it's the quickest graph. It's basically a column graph, but you don't need the frequency. So I'll show you what we go. So first of all, you draw one line on the bottom, and then I'm going to put so I know where each one's going to be. Let's have a look. So our smallest number is 11, and our biggest, so I don't think it goes 15. It's 15, so I only needed this size of the bar anyway, so I could have planned this more or rubbed that out, that's fine. So following ages, so this is age, and let's see, we've got 1, 2 11s, so you do either 2 dots or 2 crosses. 12s, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Our 13s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Our 14s, 1, 2, and our 15s, 1 and 2, and there's our dot plot. The reason we use this is very quick to do. Sometimes they have this dot could represent 5 people, for example, if they didn't give you the original data, and that's a question you'd have to read from the dot plot. So it's a quick graph and it's very similar to a column graph, but you have the dots going up for frequency. Alright, number 3. Find the 5-point summary of the following data and draw a box and whisker plot. Now, 5-point summary, as it mentions, you need to find 5 different values. So I'm going to write them down here. It's the lowest value, then it's the lowest quartile, the median, the upper quartile, and then it's the highest value. Now, this is actually much easier than it sounds, and I'll explain why. So to find the 5-point summary, all you've got to do is definitely put the numbers in order. So let's do that now. Our smallest, I think, is 22, and there's 2 of them. You'll notice I'm writing it exactly underneath every time as well. So I'm in my 20s, 22, then it's 26. And then I think there's 2 28s. No more 20s, then there's a 30, 31, 33, and 2 34s, 37, 2 38s, and a 40. So I know I've done it correct because they match up underneath. The lowest is clearly 22, the highest is clearly 40. So they're very, very straightforward. Now the median, again, you cross off 1 from each side, or you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. Okay, so the median is between these values. Between 31 and 33 is 32, so we found the middle number, 32. Now once you put your line in, your lowest quartile is the middle of these numbers. Now if you cross off one from each side, you can see we've got the number 28 in the middle, so that's our lowest quarter. Now if you look at this one and we do it the same way, you find the middle of this side, we have 37. See, 37. So you must cut your data in half, or if it's one number, like for example, say if it was 31 was the median, you cross it off there and then you find the middle of both sides like there, so you ignore it. So there's our 5-point summary. Once you've done that, it says, and draw a box and whisker plot. So to do this, you just look at the 5-point summary and we have a scale. So we draw one line that goes from 22 to 40. So if I start at 22, then I'm going to go up in twos, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. I could have probably spread it out more, but that's enough. So 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. Now the best way of drawing your box and whisker plot is to draw a small line above. So lowest, 22, lowest quartile, 28, your median is 32, your upper quartile is 37, and your highest is 40. So if you draw lines like this, you then put a box in between the lowest quartile and the upper quartile. So there's your box. So your box goes from between these two there, and then your whiskers come off the side of the box. That's why it's called a box and whisker plot. So that's what it looks like. Now sometimes you'll see the numbers written above each of the 5-point summaries, and that's really if it's hard to read the scale. Because this one's really obvious, I mean I'll do it now, but if you can read the scale you don't have to do this every time. So that's 37 and 40. 5-point summary and our box and whisker plot. So quite a common question, that one, definitely worth making sure you practice.